My name's Erin, and I am the Developer Grants Coordinator for Filecoin Foundation. And I have two objectives today. If we're looking at the clock, I think this is going to be pretty quick, actually. Objective number one, I want you guys to know what the Developer Grants program is. And objective number two, I want you to know how to get funding from the Developer Grants program. It's actually a situation where if actually, before I jump into it, I'm curious, has anyone here received a grant from our program before or from Filecoin Foundation? I think I've talked to one or two of you. Okay, nice. Well, that tells me that we have a lot of fresh talent in this room that we'll hopefully get to connect with in the near future when it comes to the projects that you're working on. I guess I can. For those of you that are not familiar with Filecoin Foundation, or you are familiar with Filecoin Foundation, but you've slept since then, this is our mission right here. We are interested in accelerating the growth of Filecoin and related tech to build a foundation for humanities information. There are a lot of really awesome ways that we get to go about fulfilling that mission. My favorite, and I am biased here, is our commitment to funding developer projects outside of our organization. There are three types here. We have microgrants, open grants, and request for proposals. These two GitHub issue references right here, that will be at the end of the presentation as well. I just want this at the forefront of your mind that you are one creation of a GitHub issue away from us knowing about the work that you're doing and where you want to take your project. We want to hear about what you're doing. Okay, next step, microgrants. These are actually my favorite grants. They are issued in Filecoin, but they're the equivalent of $5,000 US. That's an important distinction here. That's USD. Something that's very key to the microgrant program is that we're interested in funding the next step in your project. So if you are at the point where you have an idea, that's awesome. Start building, and once you get to a point in your building where you can see a next step where you need resources to make it happen, you should think of us and please contact us. Some people, once they have that idea, they start at a hackathon and then roll right over into a microgrant. So they're starting with resources and support, and then they continue on to resources and support. But it's important to have that starting phase and process, and you're able to provide evidence of your building before requesting additional funding. I just really love this step because it's really all about giving you the opportunity to be creative and explore, and the opportunity to take a swing at an idea or a concept that you're really interested in. So it's all about your building, and you want to keep going, and you want to maintain that momentum. That's what the microgrant program's for. The application process, even in the tech world, I think is pretty minimum. So you're opening a GitHub issue. You're telling us what your project's about. You're telling us what the next steps are, how you're going to implement those next steps. How IPFS, Filecoin, related tech is integrated into that project, and then if it's open source. There is a reporting piece to it, but it's very minimal, and it's a one-time step that happens at the end of your project. There are some really cool projects that come out of this, so it doesn't have to be this small-scale, small-reach thing. It can be a large project or a big-picture project that you're just taking one step at a time. We have decentralized creator content platforms that prioritize equal opportunity and equal payment for those creators. We have teams and individuals that are really interested in determining ways to make DAOs more functional, scalable. We have, actually this is a really cool project. We have a team that's working on taking a copy of an entire human genome and storing it to IPFS with Web3 storage. So there's plenty of industries that want to get involved, and so if you think of something, even if it's a little out of the box, you should still think of us. Okay, open grants. Microgrants actually can graduate into open grants, so if you complete your work and you want to keep going, it's not a prerequisite. You can start at open grants, so just something to keep in mind. They're going to be over $5,000 USD, usually south of 100K, but the range varies, so it really just comes down to what's the nature of your project and what does it need. What's different from open grants, from microgrants, is it's less about the next step and more about what's being contributed into the ecosystem. So if you have a novel idea and you believe that it can advance the ecosystem or benefit the usability within the ecosystem, we want to hear from you. There's, again, a wide range of projects for open grants as well. We can dig into those if we want, but I will make a point here that you can actually go into GitHub, and it's not holistic yet, but there are projects that we have funded that we are adding all the time for all the different grant types, so you can get ideas, you can actually reach out and contribute and try to collaborate, or if you just want to get a feel for what your candidacy looks like, I would recommend you apply, but if you wanted to increase your confidence, you can also check out those projects. There's projects that range from NFT marketplaces for large storage space projects like architects and developers and designers that want to land in the metaverse. There's teams that are really diving into bridging the gap between Web 2 developers and Web 3 developers in the gaming space. What else is there? I have a soft spot for this actually. Teams that are really passionate about learning and helping people onboard from Web 2 to Web 3, building learning environments. We see some of those from time to time. Middleweight application. So if you're comparing it to Microgrant, there's a little bit more, but it's still not too bad. A key difference here is that we want to see a roadmap of the work that you're doing. So if you need 50K over a year, we want to know how much you need at what time and what objectives you plan on meeting at those different milestones. All right, and RFPs, they actually kind of have a beat to their own drum. Instead of you creating the idea and then asking for money, instead, we've already posted an idea and have an idea about the money. And so if you're someone where you like to learn about a need and then you want to step up to the plate and take care of it, RFPs are out there for you. And so you should definitely take a look. It's wide ranging, but again, if you don't want to be coming up with the idea, but you just love tackling stuff that needs to get done, check out the RFPs. There's a lot of opportunity there. Last but not least, get started or learn more. Here's some contact information. I really can't emphasize this enough. You should connect with us. If you have ideas or projects that are in the works, we'd love to know how it can be helpful. Even if granting isn't the right place for you right now, we'd still love to learn how we can connect you to the community and provide support in different ways. We have over $5 million USD dollars worth of grants made so far this year, and the year's not over. We are surpassing our goal of 35 grants approved per month, and I'd love it if some of you guys got to be a part of the numbers before the end of the year. So I'm here for all of this over the next few days, so please do not hesitate to be in touch. I would love to connect and provide more information. Thanks.